Hey everybody, we wanted to take a minute before we got started in this episode to talk about something serious. There's been 4 of us on this podcast so far, and it was very eloquently put that we are kind of the 4 pillars of the SportsBites podcast. And tonight, one of the pillars lost somebody really close to him. Our good friend Robert, his brother passed away this morning, and so we just wanted to put it out there that our thoughts and prayers are out for Robert's family and Robert, and we wanted to let it be known that we're dedicating this episode to his memory, Ryan Caldwell. We have a lot of fun here on SportsBites, but it is very good to take a few moments out, especially when things happen that we're not expecting. And we just wanted to, take a serious moment again to express our condolences and let Robert and his family know that that thoughts and prayers are with them.
Love you, Robert.
We're praying for you, brother.
Love you, buddy.
Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag.
What is up? How is everybody doing out there tonight? All of you SportsBites fanatics, how is everybody this evening?
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Well, once again, another episode of SportsBites is here. I am your host, Randall Horn. Tonight, we had such a great showing of support after last week's episode. You know what? We brought him back. Tonight on the mic, we got my brother Don Schro.
How we doing?
Dr. Mike on the mic again.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Oh, on the mic with Mike.
Guys,
let's go.
Thanks for coming back. Thanks for being here again tonight.
Yes, sir.
A lot of stuff this week. It's a big week. I'm excited to get into this already. I'm just amped. I'm amped up.
Big week with Brent's upset.
I'm a little upset.
We're going to start this thing off making a big announcement. We've been talking about it since day one. I am super pumped for this. I am so excited.
Yes, sir.
We hit our 50 this week.
Let's go!
Everybody knows what that means. It's been watching the podcast. It's been subscribing. It's been giving us the love all the way through. 50 subscribers means tonight is the first official giveaway for SportsBites. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. What?
Not
50
on.
subscribers. I can't believe it.
That's
Not
great.
only did we hit
Thank
50,
you to everybody.
We
Thank
almost
you.
doubled from last week.
34
last week. We're at 64 right now. Almost doubled.
What did we say, though?
Almost
What did we
doubled.
say from the first episode of this year? We're going to do things different. We're going to do things different, and this is going to go in a great direction, and I am feeling it. I don't know about you guys, but I am feeling it.
Dude,
I'm
that's
pumped.
good. That's pumped, dude.
I've been pumped all week about this.
250 plus views on the
I
last
saw that
one.
in our last video.
Going into
Yes.
the day.
Yes.
Let's try to get 300 this week.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
do it.
We're
It's
trying to
going to
get a-
happen. It's going to happen. I'm digging
subscribers,
it. I'm digging it. So
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Yes. Before we go any further, you
Yes.
hit it right up, man. Thank you
Thank
to
you
everybody.
so much.
All of you out there watching, subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing. Y'all are what we do this for, and you guys are why we are here.
Keep it
you
up.
guys are what's keeping this going. Thank you so much for the support, for the love. Thank you for being a part of
Appreciate you.
SportsBites.
Round of applause.
Let's do it. Let's do
go.
it. Yes. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and fire this thing off real quick, and we're going to find out who's getting this first giveaway. I'm down.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Donnie, you want to do the honors?
Yeah.
You got the mouse right behind
Guess
you.
I'm closest.
Yeah, all you got to do is just shake it. We've got everybody's name in. Click it.
On the generator.
Sign in. All right, we've got everybody's name in.
1 through
Everything.
50. The
1
first,
through 50. We're going to
the
generate
first
it up.
50.
So go ahead and hit it. Let's find that number.
Here we go. Generation
So
time.
we got
Gotta hit generate.
number 15.
Number
All right,
15.
Click on this.
Who is number 15?
Number 15.
Number 15. We'll see
Let's see who it's going to be. Number 15.
Dun, 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 dun.
Richard Bragdon.
No.
Richard
way.
Bragdon.
No.
The first winner of Sports Bites. Richard, we're going to get in touch with you. We've got a box of Sports Bites love coming your way for being a noble supporter, a loyal fan. We got it coming to you, baby.
Congrats,
Sports Bites.
Rich. Congrats.
Thank you. Way to go, Richard. That's it.
Boy,
I think
right?
we're doing. Are we going to do another one?
Richard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Richard. That's your boy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going to do another one at 100?
Oh, that was.
Yeah.
All right. So
You're
if you
beating
want
me to it.
That'll
if you
be
want
there
to get
next
into
week.
the next one, we're
That'll be there next
What are
week.
we at? What are we at?
See that right
so
now.
we're at. Let me check real quick. Sorry,
We're at
gotta
64.
pull up.
I think we're at 64.
So
going
we are
into
at
tonight.
64 right now. So we're already 36 away from the next giveaway.
So if you want to get in on the giveaway for the Hundy, come on and subscribe.
The
It's
next
going to be a
giveaway.
bigger giveaway.
Yes. These,
Gonna be
I've been
bigger.
saying it since the beginning. Every giveaway is going to get bigger. We're getting bigger. The giveaways are getting bigger. The 50 is done. The 100 is the next. This is going to keep happening, people. This is a trend. We're doing it for a reason. Get on board. Be a part of this with
Let's
us.
go.
I'm amped. I don't
That's
know if
great.
I'm almost
Congrats,
sweating. I'm
buddy.
so
Congrats,
pumped right
Rich.
now.
Yeah, energy
Richard,
levels up here.
Congratulations,
baby. Let's go.
dude. Congratulations.
Congrats to Richard.
Like I said, we're going to get in touch with Richard, get some information, get him a box of Sports Bites love going out to him. And, yeah, dude, I'm so pumped right now I can't hardly read. Or wait, maybe I just was illiterate.
A little bit.
No, okay. So we got the giveaway. We announced the 100 subs. Once again, before we get this any further, I got to say the words, the magic words we've been talking about every week. Like and subscribe, people.
Like and subscribe. Keep it going.
Shares,
Keep
likes,
it going.
subscribe. All of you that were in that giveaway, guess what? Get your peoples on board. You're in the next one already. You ain't got to do nothing. But the moment we hit 100, we're doing it again. It's going to happen again. So, with that, we're going to get fired off into we got some tasty treats tonight.
We got some
Got a
snacks.
few tasty treats.
All right,
A few
down.
tasty treats.
I'm
So
excited.
I got them over here.
Bring them out, buddy.
All right.
You do the honors, man.
So,
No spillage.
no spillage.
I'm just kidding.
I make no promises.
Hey,
All right.
what are we cooking with? Cooking with steam.
So, I know what I brought. Randy, you want to talk about what you brought
Yeah,
first?
All right, so
Randall.
real quick,
Do it
I
up.
mean, something super simple, but hey, on sports day, sometimes you ain't got time to cook. Sometimes you don't want to run out to the store and go shopping for groceries for it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just need a little something quick for a good sports event to watch on TV. One of my go-tos, if I need something quick that's pretty good, I go to 7-Eleven, man. Everybody's got a 7-Eleven.
Okay.
And guess what? They're open all the time.
Listen,
24 hours.
I'm not above a roller grill. Okay? I'm not above it.
Absolutely
No.
not.
I'm not above it.
This is Sports Bites. I don't think anybody on this show is above a friggin' roller grill.
No.
So tonight,
Absolutely.
we went ahead, dabbled with a little bit. So,
So these are from 7-Eleven?
yeah,
Yeah.
these are 7-Eleven authentic.
7-Eleven.
All right.
Took them out of the, took them out.
Authentic
So,
taquitos. Fresh out of the...
so we got
Straight from
two.
Mexico.
We got two. So we've got the chicken in Monterey.
Which one's that one?
That's gonna be this one.
I feel like
Chicken
that's the
Monterey
lighter
taquito.
one.
And then this one right here is
Uh-oh.
the buffalo chicken roller.
Ooh.
My
Uh-oh.
favorite.
All right.
The buffalo
I
chicken
think both
is my
of them are
favorite.
going to hit.
All right.
So-
which one do you want to go for?
Whatever.
Let's
roll
start
with
with
it.
Monterey.
Monterey.
All right.
All right.
Here we go.
Right one. This is my go-to. Which one hits? Super hard. I gotta savor that one. I don't know why. I like that little kick. You know? I feel like
It's
hot off the press a lot different. You know?
I'm gonna say
They're
that
good.
flavor.
They're still good, man. They
If
got
I'm a
that
couple
kick.
drinks in already,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna eat 1,000,000 of those.
Yeah, for real.
like,
It reminds me of that queso we had last week.
yeah.
All
I
right.
didn't.
Not bad. I don't hate it. I'm going to finish it.
I'm dogging
I feel
on
like
it.
the ratings
I'm
in the
hungry, too.
mediocre range for Brent. All right, let's
All right.
see round two.
Buffalo chicken.
Round two, Buffalo.
All right.
Little spicy, little kick.
Oh, it's like all chicken. Holy shit. Okay. That was like, it's like a buffalo chicken hot dog. Like,
Yeah, it's got a little heat to
not
it.
like a,
It's got a little heat to it.
yeah, I luckily took a small
That
bite,
threw
not a
me
big
off.
one.
There's no breading.
Yeah, not a, yeah, exactly.
That's all. It's like a chicken tube.
I'm glad I took a small bite.
Oh. It's my favorite.
Mm.
I'm telling you.
I think yours is going to calm my tongue down a little bit.
Oh, shoot. Sorry. Hold on.
Calm the tongue down.
All right, hold on.
What we got here, Brent?
That was good. Hold on. Let me get some beer.
Yeah.
All right,
Get a
so
little spritz on the tongue.
Cleanse the palate.
for my offering this
We'll wait on
evening,
those.
I brought.
Brent got for the
so
offering.
he gave me a theme. He said, "I'm doing taquitos." I'm like, "Well,
I said
that's
Mexican, baby. Mexican.
So I brought some churro ice cream that has dulce de leche, which is caramel,
Okay.
and then on the side we've got some buñuelo chips, which are basically like fried tortillas covered with cinnamon sugar.
Okay.
So it's just they're
like
like it's
like a
little
churro chip.
Churro chip kind of deal.
So
So
churro chip with some
I'm
ice
down.
cream.
You're speaking my language,
All
bro.
right, so let me not get
Calm
on
my
the
tongue
microphone
down
here.
real
Let's
quick.
see what we got here.
That
Yeah, let's
dang
see.
buffalo one.
I can't wait.
Bro,
Trying not to make a mess.
dip the chip in it.
So you need one of these. We didn't have these last week. Yeah, that's a hit.
Dude,
That's a hit.
that's so fucking good.
That's a hit. I gotta get some of this in my
The buñuelos are amazing.
That
Man.
is
What brand did you say this were? Some like crazy brand.
The buñuelos,
Mm-hmm.
I got them at Kroger. It's called
Yeah.
like Mama's Kitchen or something like that.
yeah,
They're
Mama-
just in the deli section. Nothing
Mama's
crazy.
Kitchen. Your Mama's Kitchen hits.
Dude, they're so good.
Yeah.
I love churro anything. You seriously. You could put cinnamon sugar on a flip flop.
Oh,
I
God.
will probably take a
Probably
bite.
lick it off. Yeah.
I will probably take a bite.
Take a bite of the flip flop. Okay.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's I mean, I'm eating it with a fork.
Your wife said you weren't going to like this. She said, "No, I don't think Randall would like that."
Yeah, my wife is full of shit.
So,
Who's gonna finish? it
Sorry,
off?
people. Sorry, Rachel.
could
I'm
you
gonna
hand me a paper
gonna,
towel, please?
pay
Need
for
one
that
of
one
these,
later?
huh?
I'm sure.
Thank you, sir. I'll probably need one for when I spill my beer
Mhm.
later. It's like a tradition now.
All right.
Dude, that was so good. Thank you
That
for
was
bringing the
fantastic.
taquitos.
Thanks for the.
That was
Yeah.
a good little warm up.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for that. That is.
Yeah.
Woo!
That was a good idea.
A
Great
little,
idea.
little spicy, a little sweet.
Oh, that's like perfect.
Trying not to spill this, please. Oh yeah. Jimmy soup.
I get all this
That's
at
okay.
Kroger.
It's good.
So I try to keep it. You are intrigued by something that we try on here, you can just go get it.
They have everything.
Exactly.
I live in the deli section. They have so much good stuff.
Man. Oh, that was
Yeah,
good.
man, that's a good kickstart right there.
Mhm.
All right.
Give us a little life.
Now that I'm over here, still chomping into the microphone.
Make a mess.
Yeah, I can't see that.
All right.
All right, let's go. I'm ready now.
Wheels are
got
turning,
it.
baby.
I was so hungry this afternoon. I'm like, sports bites became sports dinner. All right.
Get it in.
Now,
You're gonna burn your mouth off. All right, baby.
all right. Here we go.
We're good.
All right.
We're
All right,
good.
that's delicious. That hit the spot. Every angle of that hit the spot, by the way.
Yeah,
that was,
man.
That was so good. All right.
A little sweet and salty.
Well, we got some fun things to go over tonight. Let's start off with the big one, I feel like. Let's dive into the NFL. Big weekend. Big weekend. AFC Championship, NFC Championship. Had some coaches hired.
big weekend.
A lot of stuff going on. Before we dive into, really getting into the main part of it, I want to talk about a couple things. As an Eagles fan, I want to talk about, the big one for us right now, Kellen coming on board, Kellen Moore.
Oh, fantastic.
I am super happy about this.
Boo.
I know a lot of people are
Boo.
a lot of people are hating
I
on
hate it.
He's a great play caller. He's a great play caller.
Dude, I don't buy it. And he's coached in the NFC East before. It's not like the people in the division don't know what he likes to do.
He had some success
And
with those boys,
last year, now you could say that they were injury riddled, blah, blah, blah. And not so much maybe towards the end of the year, but they were number 21 in points per game, number 27 in yards per rush, and number 24 in rush yards per game.
This past year?
Yes,
Yes.
with the Chargers.
But look, it was
They just
not
throw the ball.
It was not on
He
Kellen
wants
Moore.
to throw the ball.
It was not on Kellen Moore because you know why? Like, the Cowboys didn't like Kellen Moore as an OC because he ran the ball too much. And they were like, when Mike McCarthy takes over, he's not going to run the ball as much and they're going to have a lot of success. That wasn't the case. They had about the same amount of successes they did last year.
Yeah.
And guess what?
I
They
agree.
lost first round, just like last year. It didn't matter who the OC was.
I don't think their OC is what their problem is. In Dallas.
It's not the problem. You got a lot more problems there.
Yeah, I know that was a big one.
I liked it personally. Obviously, not trying to be biased as an Eagles fan, but I think with that team, with that amount of talent, I think he can do good things. For sure.
Y'all brought in Fangio, too, to run the defense.
Oh, yeah, Fangio from Miami.
Yeah, well, Miami's defense was ass this year.
They were ranked 7th.
In what?
Overall, defensive rating.
I mean, I guess they got kind of beat up towards the end, but when they played a team with the pulse,
you're right.
They were giving up. They were giving up points.
Same with Cowboys. Statistically, they were one of the best when they played a good team.
To me, those two hires just strike me as names. Like they're names. They get the fan base.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a we'll see thing.
They're not the guys you had last year, but
no, they're better. It's an improvement.
It's a crucible.
It's an improvement.
It is a very hard place to coach. The expectations are super high. Like
Fangio, Matt Patricia, and Brian Johnson.
Yeah, no, it's
definitely in both.
I feel like Matt Patricia's kind of like the same. He's kind of a name.
He's kind of a name.
He's a name, but does he have success as a coach?
No, not since he left New England.
Not much.
And to be honest with you, I was cool with Kellen. I was cool with the hiring.
Yeah, I was.
I would have been just as happy with Frank Reich coming in there.
Yeah.
I would have been cool with that. Maybe a little bit of backtracking towards something that we had success with. I know I'd mentioned this to you, reading some reports that had come out of some possible, coach selection ideas. One of them that really intrigued me, man. Former Super Bowl winner, former Super Bowl MVP, play designer for the Eagles. People don't give him enough credit that he designed a lot of stuff that helped him move forward. Had a great OC with him, but he's kind of the creator of the famous Philly special, baby. They were talking about Nick Foles being a possible OC to come in. They said he works really good with young dudes, teaching them.
Big Dick Nick. Get him up in the booth. That's what they call him, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what they call him.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like,
I feel like that's another one.
Thing.
That's another one. Would have been a name. But you're hiring.
But Philly fans were looking for blood. Those guys were not coming back. There was no way in hell those guys were coming back.
We have way too much talent to finish the year 1-6. I'm sorry.
But
we just had way too much talent.
Just a couple other notes I got down here. Today, Ben Johnson for the Lions, he's staying. Yep. He's not going anywhere. And he was a hot name to maybe go coach the Commanders. Now they're thinking the Ravens defensive coordinator, Mike McDonald, is going to interview tomorrow for that job.
They have a young team. He should.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's ready for that. Like he has.
Yeah.
He's had a good defense. I don't know if they're a defensive team, but who knows? He's going to interview, and then Arthur Smith, former Falcons head coach, going up to Pittsburgh to be the OC.
Yeah, I was going to say he's a coach that needs to take a step back into a coordinator role.
And that's how he got that job. And he was down in Tennessee, where he was the offensive coordinator. Did a great job. It tells you a shift in mindset that Pittsburgh's thinking about is they want to run the ball. You saw that later on in the year. They were coming on strong with Najee Harris and Jalen Warren, the other guy. Sorry, I was forgetting his name, but coming on strong. They're running the ball.
Yeah.
And if those two backs made Mason Rudolph look okay.
Yeah.
So
they opened up the pass.
So maybe they can work on making Kenny Pickett better. Probably not, but we'll see. So
we'll see.
So that's just one of the coaching moves, and
You guys think that Bill Belichick is sitting at home right now, like, what the hell happened?
I think this past year was a bad showing for him. Like, it just looks like the narrative around him was that, like, if you don't have a Brady or a star quarterback, you're just not that good of a coach, which is a joke.
It's a joke.
Yeah. Oh,
He's a great coach.
Yes.
They were a great tandem, a duo. They were great together. But
I think didn't Atlanta bring in Raheem Morris or something? He was a former.
Yes.
Why? He's not a good coach. He's got a terrible record. He was like an interim coach down there at one point in time. Like, he's not the guy.
No. But Atlanta, I feel like right now the narrative of that whole division is they're just a division they're reaching. All these teams are reaching right now.
Yeah.
Carolina, their struggles.
They hired
this
the
year.
Bucks OC.
Exactly. You got the Bucks who, they look good with Baker, and they could go. You never know. Next year they come out with a lot of the same weapons, have another positive season. But if you look at the NFC South, I mean, they were not a strong.
And you tell me, like, you don't hire Belichick, he's not immediately head and shoulders above everybody else who's down in that division?
Of course.
Well,
With
like
a
you
good
said,
young core of players, he's a quarterback away. They got a high draft pick. You tell me they can't get a guy or a veteran guy to come in there, and if you're recruiting a few free agents, say, hey, Bill Belichick's going to be your coach.
Oh yeah,
I mean, Kirk Cousins, he's going to be a free agent.
they announced what he was wanting to stay in Minnesota today, and it was pretty hefty.
Yeah,
it was pretty hefty for some injuries, getting to that point.
We'll
What
see.
about
We'll see
like
type
a
thing.
Russell Wilson? He's going to be a free agent.
Russell's going to Vegas.
Thanks.
All right.
Yeah, Russell's going to Vegas.
Russell to Vegas. That's the call.
Danger Russ.
Yeah, personally, I just don't think even with the flashes of greatness he had last year, I just don't think Russ is the guy.
Well, in that division, though, with that coach,
I don't think he deserved to get benched after especially his hot run at the end of
Well,
the year.
no,
That was
yeah,
just
but-
insane
Yeah.
for money purposes.
Yeah, it is
But,
what it is. That a lot of teams have some issues in that same realm.
but
So
the
that-
coaching
that's-
carousel spins on. So
It does, and we've got weeks. The next few weeks to come will be very interesting to see what these teams really go into spring training with.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting. Some of these teams are going to be made or broken on the coaches and coordinators that they hire.
Yeah.
It's they can
you
have
got to get those guys in place because draft is not that far away when you really think about it.
No, it's
and you
not.
need coaches and coordinators that have a game plan that the players, especially the young players, are willing to buy into. If the players don't buy into what you're selling, guess what? I don't care how good your players are. They're not going to play as a team. They're going to play individual football. You can't win playing individual football. Just can't do it. All right. Let's move on.
Why the
Let's
best
talk
four
about
teams
it.
are at the end.
I was kind of,
Why the best 4 teams are at the end of
Yeah.
every NFL year.
I wanted to kind of slide into this topic a little easy. I know it's a touchy subject. Let's talk about the Ravens and the Chiefs. Let's talk about those for a minute. Rough game, Brent. We get it. Rough game.
We'll let you hit the first hit, man.
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
first
say,
hit.
We'll open it up to you and let you just rip the Band-Aid off real quick.
Just do it, man.
Dude, it has some negatives and some positives.
You gotta have some.
Most definitely.
There's not really too many positives from the game because we fucking lost. But my overall feeling is that the offensive coordinator and the coach, Todd Monken, he let Lamar down big time.
Mm-hmm.
You have a defense on the other side of the ball who, I said last week, is giving up 5 yards per carry.
Mm-hmm.
And the running backs only get 5 touches. And you're
Insane.
having Lamar throw the ball. And, of course, if he doesn't have it, that's not like he is an improved passer, but he is not a Mahomes. He's
Not a pocket passer.
He's not a Brady. That's not his game. Now, they had him running. They had him doing some other things, but
Had him doing
If
some
he-
other things. They had him catching his own passes.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. If he
Yeah.
wasn't catching his own passes or scrambling for his life, it's like the game plan, I said it last week, should have been you run the ball and you play good defense, you be efficient with the ball, and you will win the game. All I've said this entire post, the only team that can beat the Ravens is the Ravens.
You were
and
correct,
they were
exactly
extremely
what happened.
undisciplined with
Yes.
their penalties
Yeah.
and their turnovers. It was just that thing is a pit in your stomach that you feel as a Ravens fan every time they come up against a big hurdle. I'm telling you now, the hump, they say you got to get over the hump. The hump is Mahomes and Andy Reid in Kansas City. They are the hump. You got to beat them. And he said it going into the week. If you want to be a champion, you got to beat the champion.
Yeah, I've said that
Could
always, man.
Not
Always.
do it.
Absolutely.
And I think the coaching staff let him down. The game plan, run the fucking ball. Run the ball.
I agree. I was
And
sick.
I think when
sick to my
that
stomach
first
the whole
quarter,
time.
they got punched in the mouth. Mahomes was 10 for 10 with his, and he was
Yep.
just dunking,
Yep.
making
Smart.
good passes.
Smart passes.
And I said we can't let him get comfortable. We can't let him get in a rhythm and get lathered up, because he was. In the first half, they put 17 points on us. And he just looked good. And I think the Ravens were not expecting that.
Don't let him get in his zone.
Which I don't know why they wouldn't expect that. It's fucking Patrick Mahomes. So, but in the second half, the defense showed up.
Yeah.
They held him down under 75 yards, total yards in the second half up until late in the fourth quarter. Yeah. 0 points. The game was there to be had, but you got the fumble going into the end zone, missing by this much. Just small little things.
The mental errors. One thing I noticed, one of the plays, it was a genius call. Hey, it's 1st and 5. It's the end of the game. We need to get the ball back. We still have a shot at this. They have 1st and 5. Let's go ahead and take the encroachment penalty. Take the yard.
Just walk offside.
Start it back over at 1st and 10 without the clock moving any further. Y'all could have got that, and quite honestly, that could have been a game-changing play. You never know. Something smart like that. Like, that was a smart call. And dude just, trucks. Yeah. Now you've got unsportsmanlike.
It's a 15-yarder.
You're walking them down the field at that point. I feel like
at that point, I think the Chiefs came in and did what the Ravens did. They played bully ball.
Oh, absolutely. They forced you guys to play their game.
And they kept the ball away from us in the first half. Mm-hmm. And I think their buttholes just got tight. They were running tight. We went 3 and out, and then they go methodically down the field, all the way touchdown. And then we hit that big play, 7-7. You think, all right, we're in the game now. And then they just boom, worked their way down the field. And their defense they were panicked, and the coaches were panicked. And they just got away. They abandoned the run game way too soon. They lost their identity. What got us there?
It was a mental thing. And it was really the chess game, like me and Randy kind of talked about last week, especially the last 2 games of the year. It's going to be a chess match to the very end. And they played mind games with you guys. They made Lamar be in the pocket 82% of the time. A lot of those rush plays, he had 8 rushes, was scrambling.
Yeah, running for his life.
He had 2 designed rush plays the whole game. 5 designed rush plays for every running back. 7 total designed rush plays the entire game.
That's not us. That's not our identity.
That's literally playing the opposite of what your ball game is. That's how you destroy all those good teams during the regular season. Run it, and then at the end, once you're up 20, 25 points, then have a few little passes to top it all out, icing on the cake.
And again, the mental errors, so that kind of stuff, that is on the coaches. The mental errors, that's on the players. But when you combine both of those, you never can win.
It was still a touchdown game.
Exactly.
It was still a one-touchdown game.
It was a very winnable game.
And y'all's defense, I'll give it to y'all's defense. Y'all played a spectacular game from start to finish. If you look at the first quarter and the second quarter, Patrick Mahomes, they said, had his longest touchdown drive in playoff history, which was a shade over 9 minutes. The one right before that was a shade over 8 minutes. So that wasn't far off. He had 2 drives that lasted 17 minutes in the first half. Y'all's defense was tired, and y'all still showed up like that in the second half.
And I talk a lot about
you guys
that with Donnie
with that.
That is
in
awesome.
the
NFL, even if it's early, if you have an offense that comes out on the field and they wear a defense down for a long drive, okay, opening drive, we'll call it. Okay, that's fine. They're going to come back. Everybody was fresh. That same offense comes back out on the next drive, and they have another long drive.
Yeah.
And they wear that defense down. Mm-hmm. Okay. You have all it takes sometimes is 2 or 3 of those kinds of drives early in the game, and that defense never fully gets rested again for the rest of the game. You guys played great.
They got back in it. Lamar got strip sacked.
Yes.
And the Chiefs, they could have stepped on our neck right there, but we stopped them on 4th down and kept it a game. If they scored a touchdown there, we're in deep water.
And it speaks
early, and then it starts to get to you mentally.
Y'all made a lot of good stops.
It speaks to your defense holding on and really fighting, but it also, to me, I'm looking at them and I'm like, even if it's mentally, maybe they're physically, they're popping off still. They're mentally even. You have to take into account, dude, those guys are tired. They might not show it, and I applaud, because even if they were, and I know that they were tired somewhere on that field, they didn't show it. And that is a great thing to do, because you don't want the offense to say, hey, these guys, they're gassed. They're tough. They're struggling right now. Let's hit them. Hit them hard now. They played hard knocks football the whole way through.
It's just that Mahomes-Kelsey connection is just...
Yeah.
11 catches for Kelsey.
Breaking Jerry
and-
Rice's
Dude,
postseason
he was
reception.
it was
That's-
just-
I mean,
He was all business.
He was like, I don't need
all
any of these other
business.
guys. Like, I just need me and my boy. We're going to go win the game.
kind of like God. It almost reminds you of
down,
like
every big play. Went to him.
it almost reminds you of like a Tom Brady Gronkowski connection.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But the future is bright. I mean,
Hey.
a lot of our team is young. We got some, we've got some free agents. We've
Yeah.
got
Got a young,
Patrick
great team.
Patrick Queen, Gus Edwards, OBJ, and Justin Madubuike, who had a breakout year at defensive tackle for the Ravens. All going to be free agents, and we just lost our director of player personnel, Joe Horowitz. He's going to go be the GM in San Diego. So we've got some changes coming up. I'm hoping we can keep our best free agents, keep Madubuike in. I'd love to keep Patrick Queen in. He's a little butthurt with the Ravens just because they didn't pick up his rookie option. They didn't pick it up because up until this year, he was just not. It wasn't coming together. But as soon as Roquan Smith, a full season with him, he has elevated his game, and those two guys are just a force in the middle of that defense.
Yep.
So I would love to see him keep those Queen and Madubuike around. Gus, I would hate to see him being the Gus bus somewhere else. I like seeing that number 35 scoring touchdowns all year, but it's going to be an interesting offseason for the Ravens. But the future is bright, so I expect them to be back into the playoffs, winning the AFC North, being back in contention, and getting Mahomes and company back in the playoffs again next year in Baltimore. I would love to see it, but I'm fucking pissed because that game was there to be had, despite all of our shortcomings.
I agree.
It was there to be had. I mean, even with that last gasp play to Valdez-Scantling to ice the game, we stop them there, we're getting the ball back. So we had a shot, but
I think the
Kills me,
MVP
man.
of that game, besides obviously Kelsey, who played the game of his life and was literally all business the whole game. Like, usually you see him celebrating in the end zone, all that stuff. There was none of that. There was him just staying hyped, staying on top energy level the whole time, just making play after play on
Kelsey?
third and fourth down. But MVP of that game, in my opinion, not even a player, Steve Spagnuolo. The guy literally made one of the best players in the NFL, MVP, in a lot of people's eyes going into that game, uncomfortable. And to have a game plan and do that the entire game, not just a part of the game, from start to finish, he made that man uncomfortable. Even the one touchdown you guys got should have been a sack.
Yeah,
If he would have wrapped up and got his legs, guess what? That's a sack. He doesn't evade and throw that big touchdown to Flowers. I don't even think y'all score if that doesn't happen. I'm saying that in a bad way. Just saying, this guy was so prepared. Andy Reid was obviously prepared, but Spagnuolo had the platform from start to finish to make this man uncomfortable. Make him do what he's not used to doing, staying in the pocket 82% of the time, not running the ball. Because they're blitzing so much, they're sending so many blitzers, we can't run the ball. They're sending blitzers every time, so let's pass. And that's what it was.
Yeah.
And half of those blitzers would always come back, and it'd be a mind game. Like I said, chess match, mind game the whole time. And you got to give it to him. He was throwing, the Ravens OC off. Everyone's mind is all over the place. They don't know what play to call. Their offense was all over the place. Their defense tried to keep them in the game. Didn't happen. It was bonkers.
reliving all these emotions again. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I apologize.
It's all right. I knew I was going to come on here. I had to talk about this game.
Well,
I've had a few days to marinate on it, so it was fine. But
if it makes you feel better, guess what? We're moving on.
all right,
We're moving on.
Let's go.
We're rolling on. AFC Championship is over.
Go to the other game.
Kansas City going to the Super Bowl. NFC Championship. We're going to go into this. What a wild game. That's all I can say. Everybody had Detroit written off.
Maybe 6.
Written off completely in a lot of people's books. Detroit comes in and haymakers
they look
San
dominant.
Francisco.
They look dominant. I mean, the crowd was stunned. The coaches were stunned.
Oh,
Could have been dominant all game.
you could hear the wind coming out of the stadium.
It could have been worse. They were close to scoring again at the end of the half. They ended up holding them to a field goal, but it could have been a 28-7 game going into half.
Easily. It was just sickening to me to see the demise in the second half. just, Niners come out. Okay, they get the ball. They're hot. They're playing for their lives. They have 30 minutes to get back in the game or else they're gone. That's what they said in the locker room. There's no speeches, no nothing. We either come back in the next 30 minutes or we're gone. We're going home. And we're at home. So we don't have to go too far. You know what I'm saying? So they were doing everything in their power. They were risking it all. They were throwing everything in their bag in that last half. But the Lions literally had multiple things that just here's gifts.
Yeah.
Gifts. 4th and 2 on the 28. Kick an easy field goal. Get points against one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NFL. Opportunity. Went for it. 4th and 3 on the 30. Kicker can easily make it. 3 more points.
I really want to hit on that because Dan Campbell's been a great coach this year. He has.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
very, very well could win Coach of the Year. He's brought a team who historically has never had any kind of greatness other than when really they had Barry. And even then, Detroit always has had this like undertone of struggle.
Yeah.
Even when they had all the pieces together. Dan Campbell said, this year I'm changing this. I'm changing how this team is. I'm changing how this team is looked at. I'm changing how we do things. And man, he was successful. He had a lot of great things. He built so many great things throughout the season for Detroit. They put a great roster together. They had a great game plan. They went in and executed so much through the season. They put themselves in a position that Detroit hasn't had a team in that position in
long time.
Quite a while.
58, I think.
Something like that. And to me, and I'm like, I'll be hated by so many people for this. To me, Dan Campbell ruined everything that he built this season off of those 2 4th-down calls. He ruined everything.
I think there's a fine line between being aggressive, which he's known for, and being reckless. I think
you have to be smart in the playoffs, though. You can do that crap during the regular season. You have to.
That's borderline negligence.
That was some Madden shit. That was some. Crazy. I'm playing Madden online. I don't want this dude to get it. I'm going for some wild. That was some childish Madden shit.
Dude,
that right there.
I wanted to throw a baseball at my TV. I was so
You
upset.
said it perfectly. You cannot do that in the playoffs. You have to take what you are given.
Yes.
If you are given 3, take 3.
And they're scoring every possession against one of the best defenses in the game, which I still don't think that.
And then you end up with a game that's a 3-point game at the end when the final whistle blows, and you look and you say, damn, those 6 points sure as hell would help us right now, wouldn't they? Dan Campbell lost them that game. Now, you can say whatever you want about, he got them to it. He put everything together. He had the players go out. They all executed. They bought into the game plan. They did what they needed to do. He got them where they needed to be. But I'm like,
there was a way to.
How do you look at that? How do you look at that from even a player's perspective? We did everything we needed to. He did a great job as coach. You can definitely say, and I'm not. You know me. I say it a lot. I hate when people say, "Oh, that one play determined the game."
No,
man,
it was like
it
five.
should not.
It was like
one
five
play
different things.
One play doesn't determine games. If one play determines a game, then you didn't play hard enough because you let one play determine a game. But that, for the first time, I think maybe ever, I looked and was like, no, those 2 plays right there determined the game. They could have changed the entire dimension and angle of where that game was going by just going for. And I get it. Okay, maybe you missed the field goal. Maybe you do. Okay.
He hasn't missed the whole postseason.
Exactly.
Since they got Bagley, he hasn't missed.
And then even then you say, okay, what if we'll give them half? What if they missed one of them? Okay, if you missed one of them, guess what? Going overtime. And I understand if you make a field goal, maybe it changes how San Fran does things. But, we can talk about the what ifs all day. I just think that Dan Campbell really, no pun intended, he dropped the ball on that one. And especially after the first one.
Yeah.
After the first time.
Like, all right,
and you lose it on 4th down, you have to say, hey, let's not fuck this up again. Let's go for the 3. Let's get what we need right here. We've got them hurting right now. You went into halftime with San Fran beaten up. The fans were silent. Mm-hmm. You had San Fran backpedaling every step of the way, and that was what you needed as part of your game plan to win that game. You needed San Fran. You needed them to be in shock by halftime, and they were. You had done everything you needed to, but those 2 plays, that shows, like, the whole thing about a game of inches, it's like it's a game of 1 or 2 plays sometimes when it's something that big. I don't think that one play or really even two plays should determine a game unless it's, I guess there's the oddity out there every now and again where you have two teams playing perfect and one or two plays can determine it because it's a 44-45 game. I get it. This, to me, they had them where they wanted them, and it was like, he was like, hey, we've got him by the throat.
Yeah. But
let's continue to take limbs off.
My takeaway is, like, it's when you think about that second half, my takeaway from it is it's yes, the Lions kind of bungled those two plays. It's not about what the Lions didn't do. It's more about what the 49ers did do.
Yes.
And they did stop, and what did stop them on those two plays, they did come back. And to me, that's resolve. That's championship resolve. To me.
Yep.
And that's good coaching. That's good players. That's players being, I don't care what the score is. We're going to come out here and we're going to win this game. And that's what I take away. That was an impressive performance by them in the second half. And maybe just got in the coaches' heads for the Lions, and you had Dan Campbell just pressing, but he's not going to feel that pressure if the 49ers aren't putting it on him.
Yes.
And they come out and they score, and then you see it, and they can look up at the scoreboard and say, oh, this was a 2-score, 3-score game. Now it's a 1-score game. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay. And you could see it on their faces when they were just the intensity was gone. All the momentum shifted to them. And then they were able to take that game, grab it by the throat, and go and win it. And that's
you could see the thickness of the air in that stadium changing, I felt like. As they were coming back, you could almost just see it in the air. Like that first 3 points, okay, whatever. Then a touchdown, it's like, all right, let's get back in this. And then they just kept piling it on and piling it on. By the end of it, even when it was still a super close game, once San Fran had gotten back into that in the third quarter, I think everybody watching the game was like, this game's over.
We know we're better than you.
Yes.
We didn't play that way in the first half, but we know we're better than you, and we're going to go prove it.
Yep.
That's exactly what they did.
I'll disagree because personally, both games made me sick as a football fan because I wanted to see you guys win. I didn't want to see you guys go completely opposite of what you guys been doing on here. I wanted to see you run down their throat and win. I wanted to see the same thing in the second half. When you're up 24-7, doesn't matter if they score on the first drive. It's still a 10-point game. Still have the advantage. And you ran all over them in the first half. 20 run rushes for a 148 in the first half. 7 total rushes in the second half. When you're up the entire second half pretty much. Makes 0 sense.
Yeah.
As a play caller, as a coach, even Dan Campbell, you have to go, why are we not calling run plays? Why are we not taking time off the clock? Pass, pass, pass. They get the ball back in 10 seconds. They have plenty of time to go have a long drive and score. Plenty of time. And they weren't going to make mistakes in the second half. That was in their mind. But Lions gifted them that. They gifted them. They could have just been kept playing and won a big offensive game.
Yeah.
San Fran could have played great offense just like they did, and Lions just could have kept piling it on like they were doing the entire game. Doesn't matter about adjustments.
Did you see the receivers at the end of the game? The drops on the easiest
Reynolds
passes.
The 3rd and 10 Reynolds, that was the huge play at the end.
Some of
wide open.
These are passes that these guys catch in their sleep. And it wasn't one drop. They were consistent drops over and over. And it wasn't just
corner,
one. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Huge ball.
You could see it in golf too. At the end of the game, you get halfway in that third, towards the end of the third, you started noticing those throws that were a lot more accurate. They were maybe 6 inches further than they were, or 8 inches further than. And those little changes, that's what throws a receiver off. And then you've already got a receiver who's like, we have to do something. They're coming back. They're in our head. We got to do something. And then
it's mentality. That's what I was talking about. With the Chiefs, the mentality. We're going to win. It's the 49ers. It's the mentality.
Yep.
They let them get in their heads.
Right, exactly. And they catch those balls in their sleep. But when they're pressing and they're thinking, I have to catch this ball.
Yeah, exactly.
They're overthinking it. Just
your eyes get as big as dinner plates, and your hands get as small as
Donald Trump's hands.
How about everything to happen at the end, and they still have a chance?
Yeah.
And Dan Campbell runs the ball with 1 minute left. They had 3 timeouts, so when they score, they had a chance to stop in 3 plays, have those 3 timeouts, and at least have a slimmer of a chance. He calls a run play, so they have to call a timeout. Right before that last garbage time touchdown ends up being a garbage time touchdown because they had to go for an onside. If he doesn't do that, they had 3 timeouts they could have kicked off. Possibility, gotten the ball back, and maybe tied the game.
And
that's Dan Campbell right there.
And you are right.
That's Dan Campbell.
They even said it during the broadcast that like
bad.
him causing them to burn that timeout.
That's bad.
They were like, now you have to rely on the onside.
Yeah.
And
They almost got it.
They almost had that onside. They were about a yard away.
We're
from
just talking about a couple of teams. The coaching staff just got the yips.
Yeah.
They just got the yips. And
it makes me sick, though, man. It makes me sick.
I know,
I don't
dude.
like
Yeah, and
it.
it's like
I
the
don't
other
like it.
two
I'm
teams
saying.
is just like
I wanted to see
they
you guys
acted like
go,
they didn't
man.
belong there.
Yes.
And they both could have been.
I know.
Damn it!
I hate it, man. I hate it. I hate it.
Let me ask y'all this. Going kind of back on what I was saying. So, just an opinionated question. They vote on Coach of the Year before or at the end of the regular season, correct? Mm-hmm. All right. So, if Coach of the Year didn't get voted on until after the Super Bowl, you think Dan Campbell would still be the front runner for Coach of the Year?
Not after this performance. No way. Everybody's
just
roasting
like Lamar.
him.
Like, I'm sorry, but you can't give him MVP after that performance. Like, they made him uncomfortable. They showed Lamar's flaws, and even though a player like that has great ability and he does so many good things during the stretch of the year.
One bad game?
But you might only have one game.
This is the game that he's been pressured in his whole career. He can't get past this game. He can't get to that ball. I really wish he would have, because this is the year to do it. This was the year they had the full, complete team.
Yes.
It makes me sick. Like I said, it makes me sick not seeing the actual 2 best teams. I feel like were Baltimore and the Lions, and they both gave their respective games away, mainly because of coaching.
Well,
and it's crazy.
I know that it was a wild conference championship week. It was.
Yeah, might not watch Super Bowl.
I have my Super Bowl note. I'm rooting for the snacks. I'm just rooting for the snacks and the commercials.
I was going to say snacks and commercials.
You got to bring up your thing, man. That's going to be sick.
What?
Proposal, dude. Your Super Bowl bet, man.
So I want to know what the over-under is on that one. Kansas City wins the Super Bowl. Travis Kelce proposes to Taylor Swift on the field.
Do they ride off into the sunset together? Does he retire? Does he retire in this scenario? Because I would love that.
Perfect ending to a fairy tale season.
Yeah, I think he proposes. If they win, he proposes on the field. They do some commercials together.
Oh my God!
They have this publicly advertised honeymoon.
Dude, it's going to be never ending.
And then 9 months down the road, she is writing a fucking hit song about him. Breaking up with him.
God, I do not give 2 squirts of piss.
They are going to make babies if this happens. They're going to make babies on the honeymoon.
This is crazy. We agreed at the beginning of this whole thing that SportsBites would not talk about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Well, you brought it up. You brought it up.
He brought it up.
Because that's a hot little bet right there. That's like something they should put in the odds.
I bet the under.
They should put in the odds on that.
The under?
Super Bowl bets.
If that shit legit happens, it'll be like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce get engaged, and also Kansas City win the Super Bowl.
Dude.
It's like it would be the byline.
You know that's going to happen, though. You know it's coming. You know it's coming.
We are already talking about it, and I hate to say it, I will give them this. If it really is the way things are looking and stuff, I will give them this. It is kind of cool to see public celebrities, athletes, celebrity wife or celebrity girlfriend, all that, who publicly promote each other. I will say that's cool. I'm like, dude, she's like one of the biggest names in music right now. And look, how many Chiefs games has she missed this year? Not many of them.
I think like 2.
He's been to so many of her shows and stuff. Yep. I'm like, I will give them that. As much as I hate them constantly harping on it on TV, I will say it is nice to at least see a celebrity couple doing the positive thing and showing support for what each other does. That I will say, I do enjoy seeing that. That's about as far as I'll go with it. But with that being said, let's go with these Super Bowl predictions. Predictions and hopes is what I want to hear. Predictions and hopes.
We already had our hope. No Swiftie wedding at the end of this.
No Taylor Swift proposal.
She's crying at the end of this game when they get spanked.
I
know my take. I'll let you take off first.
My gut, just because I'm bitter. I'm bitter. It's bitter. Give me San Francisco. I don't want to see the Chiefs win. Fuck them. I hate them. They didn't deserve to win this game. They shouldn't be there. Give me San Francisco. And then
Score.
that way I know for a fact, if San Francisco wins, oh yeah, you guys might have won a Super Bowl, but we came to y'all's house and beat you badly on Christmas Day. We were better than you. Fuck them. Give me fuck them. Sorry, I'm cussing.
What do you got?
Dude, well, I didn't like them beating Green Bay. I didn't like them beating the Lions. I obviously thought Green Bay and the Lions had a better team than them, but I have to give it to the Niners only because of 3 years ago. And, you know, this is only one player, but he's one of the main tune-up guys in that band, George Kittle. He's standing on the sidelines after, you know, they're up 20-10 against Mahomes with 6 minutes left in the Super Bowl of 2020. They lose 31-20. They give up 21 points in 7-8 minutes or something, last 7-8 minutes of the game. He's standing on the sidelines and he says, you guys are never going to get the best of me again. Like, I will be back here. You will see me back. You will not get the best of me again. I'm calling Kittle to have an explosion game. And him being a big reason why they take the victory. And, of course, Mr. McCaffrey, who is probably going to solidify the MVP if Purdy doesn't. Yeah, I think they'll take it 31-27. Close matchup. Mahomes and Kelsey are obviously going to do their thing.
If you want to score, give me. I'll take 28-20 Niners. 28-20.
28-20?
Yeah.
Both of y'all for the Niners?
Yeah. Yep.
And the spread
is going to think.
the spread is 2. The spread is 2.
He was right both times in his picks, and we were wrong both in our picks last week. So you know who he's going to go
Don't
with.
take, but I'm salty.
Know
I'm not being
gonna
objective. I'm not being objective.
He's going to go with it because it's going to happen because he's just been crazy about his picks lately. See, we're going with our heart. He's going with his mind.
So this is what I see. I see a San Fran team that came through tremendous adversity to come back against a very strong Detroit team who came back and showed Detroit, like, hey, don't you ever take your foot off the gas against us.
Look.
They made that game theirs at the end of it. They came back, did great things. San Francisco, all season, San Francisco has battled adversity and has been the top contender, the dominant team, the team with every bit of weaponry that they need to make this thing happen. That being said, San Francisco, if they played like they did against Detroit, Kansas City is not going to let San Francisco come back in the second half. Kansas City is not that kind of team. And I'm going to tell you now, Kansas City is going to come out firing. And they're going to come out firing hard. They had some mistakes that they made against you guys, and I promise you, I've said it last time, they will spend this time and they will fix those mistakes, just like San Francisco did. Yep. They fixed their mistakes coming into Detroit. And they still almost got really messed up in that game. They did in the first half. I think Kansas City right now, they have that Super Bowl mentality.
Yep.
And I'm not saying San Francisco doesn't. San Francisco, dude, they earned the right to be there. They have the weapons, great coaches, they have everything. Kansas City beats the San Francisco 49ers.
Definitely see it. Just like last week.
34-24.
Either way, I can see it.
Patrick Mahomes.
It's who calls the best game.
I had a wave of nausea hit me.
Who calls the best game at the end? You look at the past 2 weeks for the Chiefs against the Bills. They let the Bills make mistakes. Like I said last week, they let them make the mistakes. They had a game plan saying, we're not going to make the mistakes. You guys make the mistakes. They came out on top. Same thing with you guys. We are going to have a game plan, short dump and dive passes, runs with Pacheco, throw it to our boys. You guys make the mistakes because we're not going to make any. We're going to have our game plan. We're going to see if it works. If it doesn't, we lose. If it does, we keep it going, keep the ball rolling. So they're going to do that again. I mean, one of the smartest coaches, probably one of the best coaches of all time, Andy Reid. I mean, the guy does nothing but win. Even when he was in Philly, he did nothing but win. We didn't get that illustrious title from him, but he led us down the path of righteousness quite a few times, and he's done it all with the Chiefs. So that's enough said with that.
No matter what, all of our teams are out of it. All of our teams are out of it. We lost. To me, we lost in shitty fashion because we got outclassed at the whole end of the season. We lost to a team that we really hoped that we would at least make it past that first round. You guys, I know nobody in your position likes to see their team lose, especially when you make it that far. It sucks even worse when you go that far. But I will say, I'm proud of our team this year. We did some great things. We sucked it up at the end. We fell apart. I think our team's made the changes. You got to be proud of your team. You got to be proud of the things that Baltimore did.
Of course.
Well, yeah, obviously, yes. But it doesn't mean shit if we don't win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And
it's hard to be that one team out of 32. And
hey, it's still raw. It's still raw. I'm only 2 days out.
Let me tell you something. Put this in perspective.
It takes a lot of work.
You all had 10 weeks of sucking ass. I've only had 2 days.
No, listen. Put this in perspective. Hey, if it will make everybody here feel better, put it in true perspective as a football fan. We could all be Dallas fans.
We're both speechless because
I
don't want to do some bad things.
We're gonna wrap up on the NFL. We've got some good predictions. It's been a wild season up to now.
That made me feel better. That actually made me feel better.
God, can you think about it?
What a miserable life. Okay,
let's move on. Hey, we got some NBA action. I know you kind of rattled me for a little while about the NBA. Like, man, we're not doing any basketball talk. I've been happy about doing some basketball talk.
Yeah.
I'm learning more. I've learned more in the last few weeks about the NBA than I probably have for the last few years because I don't watch NBA basketball. But thanks to SportsBites, I have paid attention.
Yeah. A lot of the viewers like the balance as well. And, some people may, predominantly like football and baseball. Some people might predominantly like basketball.
Well, you figure, football, basketball, and baseball throughout the year, the top three pinnacle sports in America. They are.
Of course.
I mean, and I like the fact that, we can kind of touch on little things here and there, different sports, different little happenings around. But the fact that we can still kind of get a good blend of all three of our big pinnacle sports, that goes a long way. The NBA, man, let's talk about a couple things. First off, last week, Joel puts up this monster game. All eyes on Joel. Everyone's like, dude, it was so great. You see the craziness? And then Luka was sitting back. He's like, you know what?
Hold my beer.
Why are they talking all this shit? Like, I can't do that. So Luka says, hey, guess what, guys? Hold my beer. I got this. Comes out.
He had an even crazier game.
Dude, he looks so nonchalant sometimes when he's doing that. Like, when he is out on the court doing what he's doing, I've watched some of his clips over the last week. I'm like, the dude looks literally sometimes like he doesn't even have to try.
Effortless.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Like, he just goes out like whatever. And he's fired up, too. That is a competitor right there. He is a competitor. But he showed it this week. Luka comes in. What did he put up? 73?
He had 73 points, 24 for 32, and 8 assists. So he only missed 8 shots. He had 8 assists. And he accounted for almost 100 points for his team. And they won, on top of that, without Kyrie in the game.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
That it is.
You're the only one on the court. Like, given they have some guys that can score, and, they have some talent on the team, but no Kyrie. They were facing a pretty good team, for him to come out and just drop 73 like it was nothing. Like, that was above Embiid's. That was, I think, 6th all time. And he just, like you said, did it effortlessly. He was making every shot, every free throw, everything. It was insane. Insane to watch. I watched the whole game. It was crazy.
You're good.
No, I mean,
it's tired from all that football talk.
No, that was what do you say, 73?
Yeah.
That's insane. That's a lot. I know I saw comments from Jason Kidd today. Jason Kidd coming out and saying that Luka is better than Dirk and saying that he's like in the MJ class now. Like, he's been Luka's been on this tear, but when you start comparing guys to MJ,
I'd say that comparison.
Yeah, that's a high praise, very high praise.
They're their own player. They're playing in their own era right now.
But like when you say he's better than Dirk, as a Mavericks player, I mean,
no,
I don't agree. I don't agree with that because
Yeah.
Luka's only made it out of the first round of the playoffs one time.
Yeah.
You got to solidify yourself.
And
And
Dirk,
he's not like he's a great player.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a ring. He hasn't done the things that Dirk did.
and Dirk, man, Dirk was so much more than just scoring. Dirk was such a good teammate.
Yeah.
He was a teammate. When he was on the court, he made everybody better.
I think Dirk was one of those guys who paved the way for these European players to come over. Like he's
Doncic.
one of the OGs.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And Luka's obviously he's not European, but he's like Eastern
Overseas,
European, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like that, he's one of these OG guys that paved the way to open. Like, oh crap, there's good basketball players over there. Like, all right.
Those are the kinds of guys I think about like that. It's like Dirk and like Ginobili, guys like that really like. Yeah, they opened the door up. They really did. They showed.
And so
like,
with that franchise to say like, hey, he's better than our best guy ever. I think he maybe being a little hyperbolic with that statement just because he's been on a tear here recently,
Yeah.
like averaging like 45 points a game the last 3 games or something like that.
Yeah.
Just being insane. Like
He's done that his
you got a
whole
front row
career.
seat that you see him on the court. You're like,
Yeah.
God damn. And I trust the word of Jason Kidd to a degree, but let him get a few more years under his belt before you start throwing out those kind of things.
Well, and to me, like I know one of the phrases, and I look at it as kind of being related. The time frames are much different, but what did they always say about Babe Ruth? You say it all the time. He was
He was less than a god, more than a man.
more than a man, less than a god, more than a man. That's how I feel about MJ. Like, not just the fact that MJ put up stats and all that, but he for his era, he was untouchable.
Yeah, he's a god.
And that's, you're comparing a guy who's only been in the league for what?
A handful of years.
Yeah, a handful of years, who's had a good career, especially this year. Has had a great season this year, had a great season last year, but you're comparing him to a guy who is less than a god,
He's a
more than
trailblazer.
a man.
Yeah.
Okay, first, he's one of the best players to come out of even overseas or anything, come through the NBA in the last 4 years. Obviously, besides Jokic, they both came in, overseas, and they're both probably 2 of the top best players in the world right now. Once he gets a team around him, they keep Kyrie, they get, a nice little center, power forward, have a few, extra guys on the bench. They're going to be nice. You can't compare him to Dirk or MJ or anybody until, he has that team around him. MJ had a team around him, no matter what anybody says. Pippen, Kerr, all those cats, Rodman. I mean, dude, he had the greatest team around him. LeBron played on the Cavs for 7 or 8 years, ringless, playing as the best player in the league. Everyone's comparing him to MJ. How are you going to compare him to MJ? He doesn't even have a title yet. He's only went to 2 finals and lost both of them. He had to join a super team in order to even get one. In his first year, he lost to Mr. Dirk Nowitzki, his only title, and Dirk Nowitzki beat a team that nobody thought was going to lose.
Oh, he was going to get killed.
Yeah.
But LeBron had to go to a super team in order to get all those finals appearances or to get that first ring. So Luka, not saying he has to go to a super team, they have to bring key guys around him. He's going to do his thing. He has since he entered the league.
Yeah.
He's been a triple-double machine. I don't even want to know how many triple-doubles he's had in 3 or 4 years of play. Ridiculous amount. To top off the 73-point performance the other night, I think last night or the night before, he had 45 points and 15 assists.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the guy is not only scoring, he's providing his teams with easy buckets. Mm-hmm. He's doing it all. So, I don't like the whole comparison thing. I never liked the LeBron-Jordan comparison thing because as a LeBron fan, I lived through the LeBron era. He was the greatest player of my generation. Jordan was obviously the greatest player of, the generation before me that got to watch him play. And that is what it is. I hate comparing the two because they play in 2 different eras. And, I know you want to hit on this as far as defense goes. Jordan played in a lot harder defensive era.
Yeah.
They were bullying the
definitely.
bad boys, the Celtics, all those teams, man. They were bullying each other back in the day. They were bumping grinding, hitting each other
soft
the whole
calls.
game.
Yeah,
Whoever is the strongest mentally and physically is going to come out at the end of that game. And nowadays, it's like just a scoring fest. There's some good defensive teams, but it's going to be a 130, 131 game. By the end nowadays, and you didn't see that back in the day. You saw like 87 to 90. Like a lot of the time, just because defense was such a big thing. But
well, that being
said, kind of went down a little bit.
Let's hit on that because you're right. I did want to talk about that for a second. And again, I don't watch a ton of basketball. I haven't up to this season. I haven't up to the last few months. So I can look at some some stats and some highlights and stuff from years past. But what I'm seeing this year, I watched some more basketball as a kid growing up than I have in the last 15 years. And I've noticed some things that are different. And that's my thing is, last week, Joel putting up big numbers. We had a few players putting up big numbers last week.
Yeah.
This week, you got Luka putting up 73.
Oh, yeah.
Had some other players putting up some massive numbers.
Yeah, Booker had 60, so it was the second time in a week 2 players had over 60, third time in history.
Exactly.
Insane.
All within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. From a guy looking, I guess kind of from an outside perspective is this the new age of the NBA? Is this the new age of players where we have these guys who are just dropping dimes? Every time they're throwing it up, it's just dropping dimes, putting these ridiculous stats up. Or are we in the new age of the NBA where teams are just not playing the same defense that they used to, that they're almost not letting it happen, but they're not fighting to keep it from happening near as hard as teams used to? Because looking at the stats, you have to ask that, are these teams not playing defense on the level that they used to?
Well, I have a good stat right here. Right now, the top 2 teams in the league are Minnesota and Boston. They're both at the top of their, respective leagues. They're also both top 2 in defense. So that is,
it's very important.
It looks good on SportsCenter in the middle of February or middle of January, but when it gets to June and you're in a 7-game series and you play that same team 3-4 times, they're going to know what you like to do.
Yeah.
Can you stop it? Those are the teams, no matter the trends and everything, unless you're just extremely prolific on offense, like the Warriors were a few years ago, defense is what's going to win you. And if Boston's back at it again, they're perennial power there over there in the East. And Minnesota, I think I talked about them last week. Upstart, I like Minnesota's game.
They beat the Nugs last night. Very good game.
They're a good young team. I'd like to see where they're going, but they are being extremely efficient on the defense. Top 2 records in the league.
But
it's only January.
Down low.
So then let me ask this: if this is a new age and this is a direction that we are going, look at a team like the Pacers. I know you've hit on the Pacers. Man, dude, they put up offense.
I love
they put up
they
ridiculous
got Siakam
offense.
Now.
But a team like that has all the offense in the world, but lacks that defense. Do you think a team like that can go up against a team that kind of has a much more well-rounded?
It just revolves around shooting. Like their philosophy is like, we're just going to outscore you.
Yes.
What if you're just not hitting your shot that night? What if you're just having an off night? You're going to lose the game. Or if you come across a good team that is good defensively. The Pacers play the Celtics tonight. They're playing right now. I don't even know what the score is. But
good question.
Yeah. But it's just like if you are just having an off night, your threes aren't falling, the rhythm's not there. They're getting in your face. They're being aggressive.
I'll say with the Pacers,
defense travels.
They were leading. They were leading the league in points before the Siakam trade. They have Siakam now, who is a superstar.
What's the score?
Say the score. The score is going to speak on what you're talking about.
What's the score?
I feel like
at the end of the first, Boston is up 36-26 over the Pacers.
10-point game.
First quarter.
But in 36 points, 36 points in one quarter?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Boston
speaking
is
on
number
that,
one in offense.
Yeah, but you can't. You're number one in offense, number one in defense.
36 points.
That.
You're on pace for 142 points.
Something like that. I don't do that.
Yeah, and they do give up. They give up a lot. They give up a lot. They score a lot.
It's just like if they go, even if they have a mini slump inside of a game where they go 8-9 minutes with not a lot of shots falling, they're not shooting well. That's how you lose games.
I think we really need to focus. maybe not from start to finish, but once the Clippers started turning it on, I think their last 27 games, they're 23-4. They went into Boston Garden the other night and not only beat Boston, who does not lose in Boston, they waxed them. And it was not a game from start to finish. Like, they dominated them on both sides of the floor. Didn't allow Boston to score over 100. I'm pretty sure that's the first time all year that didn't happen. Clippers are insanely good because they have that mesh now. They have Harden playing, that point guard, shooting guard role, and he's able to give it to Westbrook when he wants to. You have it, I'll shoot the ball, or vice versa. Then you got Paul George and Kawhi, who's good on both sides of the ball, ridiculous, and they're going to shoot lights out most of the time. And all their key players around them, they are the most dangerous team, in my opinion, and I don't think anybody can really mess with them right now. And I haven't seen it in the last month. So,
well, I'm going to say this, kind of moving forward with it. Not watching a lot of basketball, I guess it's kind of cool. Like, I know you guys watch more basketball than me. It's been kind of cool because I get to step into like, I haven't seen the progression over the last 15 years. I'm like stepping in as a new fan right now, so I'm seeing a lot of this stuff happening all over the league, and I'm just, I mean,
you're gonna love playoff basketball, dude.
I'm telling you,
a whole nother level.
A lot of this stuff has blown me away, and I'm gonna tell you, one of them that I have to call out right now is this guy Wemby, man. I gotta say, so the last week I really have paid attention to some stuff. Talking on teams playing defense, I'm gonna tell you right now, this guy Wemby can play some defense. I watched some wild defensive plays by this guy, and I'm like, this dude reminds me.
His wingspan is from here to the canyon, and he's 7 feet tall.
What?
He can block anything.
God-given, baby. Like,
I know, right? They don't make them like guys like that just don't grow on trees. Like
they had 7-foot Embiid go behind him last game before he dropped 70.
And Embiid's like, God damn.
Dude's a freaking giant.
Yeah.
And Embiid's 7 feet.
Well, I will say,
like 7'4".
Trying to watch some of these players and get a grasp for the guys that I like. I mean, y'all are basketball fans. You have more than just guys on the team that you like, that you look at and watch, and you're like, I kind of like the way that guy plays. This dude Wemby, and you're the one who told me this. This dude Wemby playing limited minutes in these games, and he's still doing what he's doing now. This dude kind of has me convinced he very well could be the truth. He could be the truth.
They put some pieces around him, yes, for sure.
And I'm really interested to see which direction he goes. Out of all the players I've watched, Luka's badass. He's a badass. One
of those guys that came from France, though, Wemby. Coming from overseas, dude. These guys are taking over the league.
Jokic, man, he's badass.
MVP candidate.
Badass.
Yep.
These dudes are awesome dudes. We're not even talking about the LeBrons, the Currys, and any of these guys. We're talking about these new guys coming in that are kind of changing the face of basketball right now.
For sure.
And I'm super excited. I'm really enjoying. It's almost like learning a new sport. I love sports and just getting to be a part of something new almost for me. But that being said, talking about the new blood in the league, let's talk about a little something about the some of these veterans. I know you had something down that you wanted to hit on. Being a big LeBron fan, I know that they set a big number this week. Pretty cool stat. Why don't you go ahead and hit on that?
Yeah, this was a crazy game to watch. Obviously, the Warriors have had a little bit of bad luck lately. Curry hasn't been happy a lot the last few games. This one was another big reason. LeBron and Curry, both over the age of 35. It was the first time two guys over the age of 35 scored 35-plus in the same game on different teams. LeBron went for 36, 20 rebounds, and 12 assists, and Curry went for 46 points. Now, I'll say something about Curry's 46. He shot 35 shots to get there. He shot 35 shots. Remember I told you about Luka's 73? He only shot 32 shots to get 73 points. Curry shot 35 shots to get 46 points. That's almost a shot per point. They were going to him a little bit too much at the end. Great team game. It was probably the best game I watched all year. 145 to 144 in double OT, and it came down to the last play. And the Lakers pulled it off. But it was just one of those games that was amazing to watch. Like, even if you're just starting to watch basketball, and that's like one of the first games you watch all the way through, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like a storyline throughout the whole time because you got two Hall of Fame players that on different teams. They both have good teams, and then it goes into double overtime, which you don't see like often at all. 145, 144, like you don't see those type of games.
Well, I mean, and I agree with you to a certain point, but I mean, LeBron James, Hall of Famer. I mean, seriously. I'm messing with you, Donnie.
Dude.
I'm joking with you, dude.
Right.
Come on now. Come on. I'm over here winking to Brett like, come on, man.
He's proving it at that age right now. 36, 20, and 12.
Yeah.
And I think he only had like 3 turnovers in 2 overtimes. He played 48 minutes.
He's a caliber athlete.
3 turnovers in 48 minutes.
It's like I talk about Tom Brady
That's
sometimes.
An insane number.
Even if you don't like the player, you have to respect the game. Like
Dude,
you have to respect his game because he is
unanimous first ballot.
Yes.
Yes. Mount Rushmore.
It's not unanimous. He's going to be in the top 5 players of all time. I won't say he's the best because, like I said, I lived in the LeBron era.
It's all about generation.
There was a Jordan era. There was a Bird era. There was
Kobe era.
Kobe.
And
Wilt Chamberlain that scored 100 points and averaged, an insane amount of points and rebounds his whole career. Won championships. Not talking about him. Even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all these great players. Like, I just hate having the GOAT, the greatest of all time. There was so many great players in the history of basketball.
Well, and we're not talking about one of the greatest of all time. Before the NBA was even the NBA, Jackie Moon. Jackie Moon, man. I'm just saying. The Flint Tropics, man, inventors of the alley-oop. I'm like...
Coffee pack.
I have not seen that.
Such an underrated movie. I love that movie. What did he... Foul. How is that a foul? I don't know. Oh, well, the NBA, we're also coming up to some all-star time in the NBA.
I think they released the starting lineups.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
I saw that Curry and...
Dude, Damian made the starting lineup. And the man has shot 2 clutch shots this year. He's had an okay season. I can name 5 point guards that's had a better season in the Eastern Conference. It's insane. Tyrese Halliburton, Tyrese Maxey, like we said last week.
Yeah.
Last week.
But I was saying, I was going to say that Curry and Sabrina Ionescu,
yes,
they are going to go together
shootout,
in the 3-point shootout.
And Ionescu is going to shoot from NBA range. She already said, she's like, let's do it. Like, I will shoot NBA range just to prove to you that I'm a great shooter.
That'd be interesting.
Did you see her 3-point contest last year? I think she missed 3 total.
Sharpshooter.
Like, insane.
Let's see it.
I really want to see that. That's going to be
She's
awesome.
got a great shot.
That's going to be awesome.
She's got a great shot.
Dude, it's only like a few feet back. She's making 40-footers, for frick's sake, in WNBA. She can make like a few feet back in WNBA line.
Well, I've really only got one more thing I wanted to talk about, and it might take a few minutes. It's something we've talked about before, and some things have kind of come out this last week. I know I've talked with you about it. I don't know if I've really gotten a chance to talk with Brent about it too much, but we're going to talk about it tonight. I know it's not a secret that I am not a fan of the NIL in college right now. I'm not a fan of it. I've said it before. I'm like, I think players should get some kind of compensation for athletics? Yes, you're making these schools billions of dollars in all kinds of different ways. Yes, they should. There should be some rules and regulations regarding how the money is made, how much money is made, where the money. These NIL deals. I mean, I don't think there's any question. These NIL deals this last year, some of them were absurd. They were
crazy
ridiculous.
money.
It's insane.
Yeah, I
don't agree with that stuff.
For a system that has always been about, hey, let's let these guys and girls go to school, be student athletes, build themselves up to be professionals. I know, dude. I had to do it too because I'm like, I just kept smelling it. It was like, oh my god, I need more.
You want some more like chips?
Oh, I'm hitting up more chips here in a minute.
We'll get them.
But I've been saying since I read into it and looked at it and was like, okay, so it's still illegal. Schools cannot pay these players. But some of these companies, and I don't care what anybody says about it, the schools can deny it all they want. Some of these companies, money is coming in from the school. I don't care how many hands it has to change before it gets to the company to pay the student athlete. The schools are giving money somewhere to these student athletes. I've been saying it since day one. I'm like, I guarantee you these companies aren't paying these amounts of money without the schools being involved in this. Well, now, today I'm hearing the official third NIL violation allegations. NIL violation allegations. Unfortunately, one of them was, the first one out was Florida State. It sucked to hear after everything that happened at the end of the season. It's like, that's just not a good look for us.
It's all falling apart.
Yeah. So, and then we had Oregon. Oregon had NIL violations because they were in contact with a student from Florida State about transferring for NIL money while that student was still playing ball at Florida State. Huge violation.
That's tampering.
Exactly.
Definitely tampering.
And now today, the University of Tennessee, allegations of NIL violations against the University of Tennessee. I'm telling you,
this is just a terrible idea.
I'm telling you, boys, they have opened up something that could be a positive thing if it was regulated and limited better than. But they just kicked the door open.
Right, exactly what I was going to say. They just opened the box and said, "Y'all go nuts."
Yes.
There's no regulation. It's almost like free agency with no salary cap.
Yes.
If you are in college football, there are haves and there are have-nots. It very clearly. If you are a have, you wave your magic wand and you get who you want for the most part.
Yes.
If you are a have-not, you're just hoping for some scraps from the table.
Yes.
So there needs to be some sort of regulation. I don't want to say salary cap or anything like that, but there needs to be some sort of regulation to make things more equitable.
Yeah.
I can remember a press conference not too long ago, right up the road, Virginia Tech. It said, if you want to donate to Virginia Tech, donate to our NIL. Because that's how they get the players. That's how they retain players. Because they're being tampered with, your roster as a coach is being tampered with and poached. If you've got a good player, and Virginia Tech is, they're like a B-level school, right? If you've got a guy who's really good, one of those A-level schools is like, hey, we need a quarterback.
Right.
Hey, we need a wide receiver. Mm-hmm. Why don't you leave the ACC? Come to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Come to the SEC. We'll pay you $1 million. We'll pay you $2 million. We got the money.
Yep.
And that happened. We had a good tight end up there at Tech. And he's playing at Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. And that's how because it's some guys are motivated about the money.
Yeah.
And why not? Why not? Because if you are in college,
especially the younger guys.
Yeah, and you have a good year, and you can go down the road and play another school for $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, whatever the money is. Who knows if you have a good pro career? This could be the money that you make that changes your life.
Yes.
So it's hard, to, especially for a young kid. You ask 19-year-old Brent, "Hey, do you want $2 million?" Hell yeah, I want $2 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to be the mentality.
It's like. So there has to be some sort of leveling of the playing field as much as there can be, because there always will be a tier system, a hierarchy of these college football teams, the blue chip teams that are just going to get what they want.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem, like you said, with players getting paid because they bring so much money to these schools. But let's work out a system that makes it fair so that these teams that are at the top of the list that do have high-level donors, I mean...
They poach every good player.
You look at Texas A&M this past year, the week before they fired Jimbo Fisher. They got like a $182 million donation to the athletic department. Because they're full of oil barons and all these other, that are in Texas. It's like $182 million. Holy crap! That is a ton of money. That donation is more than the athletic department of about 100 other schools. So it's just like, let's find a way to pay these guys what they're worth, right? And have them fairly compensated for what they bring in, but try to make it a little bit more equitable. I don't know how you do that, but it is a wild, wild west out there.
Oh, dude, the amount of money that Texas A&M ate on Jimbo's contract, and those dudes looked at it like when they talked to him in media meetings and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, it's a drop in the bucket."
Yeah,
sucker.
it's like $90 million for him to go away.
What? To sit on a couch and watch football?
I mean, when they fired Fuente up there at Tech, they had to pay him less than 10, and they were sweating it.
Yes,
it's a lot of money.
It's a ton of money.
It's a ton of money, and then 80-90 million up there, like, all right, we'll pay you, coach. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's, all numbers aside, it's a complete distraction from the sport. And, watching the sport since, I was little, since I understood what a play was, since I understood anything about football, I've enjoyed watching it, and just the crumbling in the past few years of them focusing on all the money, and money has been the top talk of college football. Like when you talk about keynotes in college football, first thing ESPN's going to hit on is NIL bull crap and all this.
Yeah.
It should be on the best teams, the best players, all this talent coming up. I hear about this half the time. It's like, dude, I don't want to hear it.
You're right.
Like, it's just like nails on a chalkboard in my ears. Why are we even going to do this? Players used to have respect for the game, and Caleb Williams, he's going to be a great NFL player. He deserves everything. All that endorsement crap, he didn't need it. He's going to be a great athlete. He's going to get his money, and I get it. Making that money early in life, cool. That's awesome. You set yourself up. But, dude, don't take respect away from the game that I love. You're adding all these unwanted distractions, and you're making money part of a game that, it shouldn't be based off that, especially in college. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, wait till you're a professional. Then worry about the money. Like, don't worry about the money half the year and then worry about your game the other half.
It changes the mindset of the player, too. Like,
yes.
When it comes to that, when Caleb Williams, when all that stuff came out, and Caleb Williams this last year was like, whoever drafts me, I will not go play for them unless they're willing to give me a certain amount of the stake of their team's stock. And I'm like, you're a college athlete. You can't demand that before you go. And you know what the shitty thing is? There's a team that probably will give him that just so that he'll be appeased to come play there. But I'm like, dude, why are you worried about appeasing him? Your rookie contract you offer him is going to be garbage compared to what he's been making the last 2 years playing ball for USC.
Yeah.
So what does it matter? That what is kind of what blows me away too is you see these athletes who are like, I'm returning for another year, and it's like, dude, you're probably a first round draft pick, and they're like, yeah, but I'm going to make more money on NIL than I will my rookie contract. And what can you say to that? Is like, okay, if it's about the money, then you're right. Like, that is a smart move, but at the same time, there's a certain sanctity to it that I feel like is being eliminated from it right now.
Yeah, and as a big Caleb Williams fan last year, I wanted him to be a professional this year. He did so many great things. He won the Heisman, the best overall quarterback to play. They had a great year. They won their bowl game. He came back to try to win a championship, but like you said, it probably had a lot to do with that NIL bullcrap. But dude, you could have had already 1 year under your belt.
Yeah.
You could have solidified yourself in the NFL, just like C.J. Stroud and all those guys. I guarantee when this guy comes in, he does great things like that.
Or even had the opportunity to sit behind somebody, sit behind a veteran. That's 1 year of sitting now.
Exactly.
That's your red shirt season out of the way. You're good now.
I hated that because he was one of my favorite guys to watch, especially last year. And this past year, he had a great year, but he was not himself. His team was not the same. They were terrible on defense. He did not come back to win a championship.
Yeah.
They didn't have the team to win a championship. They had it last year, and a lot of those guys went pro.
Yeah.
Which he should have done. And it sickens me when you win the Heisman. They were predicting him #1 overall pick last year. They're like, wow, he's coming back. He must really want to win. No, he doesn't want to win. He wants money.
Rachel always says pigs get fat and hogs die.
This makes me lose respect, a little bit of respect for that kind of player, man.
That's you look at after the season he had this year. Do you think his draft stock is down from where it was last year?
No. He's still going to be #1 because he's a great athlete. Yeah.
You think?
Of course.
If he falls out of the top 2 or 3,
Yeah.
I would be shocked.
He's going to go top 3. And
I watched draft day twice in the last 3-4 days. I want to see it happen.
he's a,
That's a movie.
he's a prototype quarterback. He's got the build. He's got the legs. He's got the arm. He has the mentality.
It's not like he
he's
didn't
a
have
winner.
a good offensive season. Their defense was just ass.
Yes.
And they didn't win a lot of games.
And like I said, he did great. Once again, he didn't have a Heisman year, but he did great once again on their offense. It wasn't his fault that they lost games. Like you said, defense. One of the worst defenses in college football, actually. You know, up there with Colorado, who thought they were going to have a great year. With,
trying to get a
Deion.
last-second debate going on.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to.
No.
Well, that being said, with these new NIL allegations against some of these teams, as crazy as this is going to sound, maybe this is a dickhead thing to say, I hope there's more of them. I hope it starts coming out over the next couple of months that a bunch of teams get found out that they have
Not my team.
issues.
Everybody else.
Yeah, the crap would just stop or just level out a little bit.
Well, I think teams getting caught doing things is what will push to have something figured out about
What kind of rules or regulations? Like,
Exactly.
Jeez.
Dude, you don't have to close it off this big. You can still have a box this big, but you got to have walls around it somewhere.
Yeah.
You
Some kind of
can't-
boundaries. Like,
Yes,
geez.
absolutely. Well, that being said, that's what I've got tonight. Do you guys? Do we miss anything? I
we
think
did
we got
about
everything.
everything.
Yeah,
I think we hit on just about everything tonight.
Yep. Did good.
This was a fun night. Again, I've been super excited to do the giveaway drawing.
You just shout out our boy Rich.
Yes,
Congratulations.
Yeah, man.
Richard,
Rich.
congratulations again.
Let's go.
And everybody watching, everybody that's subscribed already, again, going back to it, we're the next ones at 100. Dude, we're already well on our way there. I'm like,
We're getting there by next week.
yeah, I mean, we've got this. We've got this in the bag, but we need your help. We need your help. We want to give stuff away. We want to see you guys. We want to see videos. I'm hoping Richard's going to send us a video of opening the box so we can post that one up so everybody can
What's
see.
in the box?
What's in the box?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But yeah, again, congratulations to Richard. Everybody watching, thank you again so much. I've had a great time tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome time.
As always, it's been a pleasure having you guys on. This has been a fun one. I mean, I know.
felt like I got to vent. Like I've just been building up for like the past couple days,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what?
That's why we let you
Save
lead.
it for the pod.
That's why we let
Like,
you
I was
lead,
just-
baby.
Did you get a little bit of closure?
Closure? No, I'm still salty as shit.
You understand? You understand what happened.
But like just to let it out and feel better, like
Yeah.
Yes,
Mildly.
definitely.
But
Think I wanted to come on the pod after that Tampa Bay game? No, I didn't.
But I'll show my face, victory and defeat. I'll be here.
For the fans, man. Sports Bites.
That's
what we
right.
do it for. We
Hell
do
yeah.
it for the fans.
Do it for you guys.
For
All right.
you guys. Well, that being said, I think we're going to close this thing out tonight.
Good
Brent,
review.
Donnie, this was a lot of fun. Oh, dude, you got me.
Review, baby.
You got me. We got to put some numbers down on this.
Dude,
I
you're gonna put a
almost
heavy
forgot.
number.
Yeah, real quick.
Come on, man. You got on the Monterey.
Monterey. 7.
You didn't. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. That's not bad.
Chicken dick, like a 4. I did not like. It's too.
That's too chicken-y.
It's too phallic for me. I did not like it.
I'm gonna retry them both. It's
I say the
like a big chicken.
and the ice cream with the chips. That's a 10. That was
a tent.
that was so fucking
He
good.
gives his own
10?
snack a 10.
I'll give my own snack a 10.
But
Hold on, Say it one more time.
That's a 10.
No, I'll give it to him. Last week with the Poblanco and beef brisket mix and the pretzels, I gave that a 10 just because of the overall taste. So, I mean,
No, that was so
I don't
good.
know if mine
Just
will
the
be exactly
caramel
a
and
10.
the cinnamon and that like
All right.
not like a little ice cream nacho action. Like it was
This guy's
so good.
head's as big as a balloon right
No,
now.
no. I'm not saying it's my snack. This is what I presented, but like the taste. I didn't know how it was going to taste when you put them together. I had a good assumption.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean,
What you got? I know you liked it.
let's see if cinnamon and ice cream and caramel taste good.
Let's go.
So I'm going to say. So here's the thing, and I am a little bit biased. The buffalo chickens
I do like it.
had to toss them in the oven for a few minutes till we got everything going tonight.
Yeah.
Not the freshest that we got them. When I push snow, I push snow during the winter when snow hits. The section I push snow in, we got a 7-Eleven in that section. And I'm going to tell you now, we don't get to stop for a lot of food when we're pushing snow. It's kind of like, hey, go.
No,
I get
hot
you.
off the press.
Those-
Maybe a little bit
The
different.
roll, like I said, I'm not above a roller grill.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
really not.
Hot
Those
off the
damn
press.
buffalo chicken rollers, they have kept me going more nights than I would like to admit. There have been nights that I've probably ate 6 of those damn things.
So you love choking down some chicken dick.
Yeah.
They dude,
Chicken.
chicken dicks all the day.
6
But
at a time.
I will say, terrible heartburn
Stop.
they give me, but it's worth it to me. But so I got to
Yeah.
call it, because quite honestly, 7-Eleven,
Favoritism.
not my favorite place to go for snacks. But in a bind, if
got
you need
buffalo
something
chicken.
for game day, they're always open. You go there. I don't care which one you go to. There's always something on the roller. There's always something on the roller.
Always.
It might have been there for
Yeah.
5 hours, but it's fine.
Maybe a little crispy.
Hey, like I said,
On
2
the
or 3
crispy
drinks in there, you don't give a
Yeah.
damn how long it's been on that
Dude,
roller.
those suck.
I'm
Great.
saying buffalo chicken roller. In my book, it's a solid 7 in my book.
Seven.
It's a solid. I like it though.
What about the other one?
You got
the-
Monterey?
I'm gonna say the Monterey chicken. I'm gonna go 7.5.
love
I
it.
will start eating
Marginally
that
better.
more.
All right.
I will start
love it.
going with that more.
What about the ice cream?
So is it ice cream and the chips
I
together,
feel like
or
it's a
is it?
mixture thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I did them together as a. So
Yeah, I
you
feel
can,
like it should be like a
you can do them
duo
independently.
Together? Solid 8.5. Solid 8.5.
it's close.
I enjoyed it, and I feel like we almost need to put like a rankings chart up, like just because like 8.5. 8.5 is a great score.
Yeah.
8.5 is something that
10 is
if
like
I
a
see it, I'm,
perfect score.
if I see
So good.
8.5, if I give something 8.5, that's something that if I see it at the store, I'm most likely going to buy it, even if I'm not in the mood for it right then. I'm like, I'm going to buy that because I'm going to want it tomorrow.
You're like 7, 8, 5.
Yeah.
Getting the
I'm
8.5.
giving it a solid 8.5. I will say, that being said, that was the combination well thought out.
Yes.
Well thought out
I agree.
combination on that.
I love the cinnamon.
I was digging it for sure. Like I said, that sweet, like caramely smell and cinnamon goodness. I was sitting here the whole time, like,
yeah.
oh damn, dude, like,
Dude, I
I'm just.
had to drink a little bit of it too. But yeah, I'll say both the ketos about the same to me. I really like the Monterey Jack. That's my go-to. But the buffalo chicken is very good too. So I'll give them both an 8 because they're both good to me. I'll give the combo of the cinnamon chips and the ice cream, I think, a solid 9 just because that's a really good dessert combo.
Well,
It's not just one thing, you know. It kind of is two things that make a nice little
It
match.
reminded me of that fried ice cream that you get,
Nice little match.
like back in the day, like Chi-Chi's.
yes.
That's what it reminds me.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I will say on a
stuff.
little shout out that I saw at the 7-Eleven, and if we hadn't already had this planned, I would have 100% bought a bag of them. Especially, weird saying after last week I said it was probably my most hated snack. They had at the
Pretzels.
7-Eleven Dots style pretzels by Zapp's Voodoo.
Wait, what?
Really?
Voodoo Dot style pretzels.
No.
And I was like,
So they must have sold their voodoos using the dot.
That's
something.
crazy.
Something.
Did you get some?
I did not.
Why the fuck did
I
you not get some?
know.
Because I don't like pretzels.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah. That's an
I
excuse.
hold on. We reviewed
We
both of
could've
those
just
snacks
bought-
on this show,
I know.
and you said they had a baby. Here it is.
Exactly. Could have got
Listen,
the combo.
We need to bring like original, fun, seasonal snacks. It's like, go get some and bring them here.
Well, I will say next week, good possibility those will be here. Very good possibility those will be here next week.
He's going to go home.
I do also want to throw out there that in the upcoming weeks, we are going to have an episode coming in the upcoming weeks where it is going to be everyone in the SportsBites stable is going to be on the show.
A panel.
There will be no sports. It will be bites only. We are going to do a quick 1 hour-ish episode of just some sports fans reviewing their favorite. Not some new stuff, not some stuff we've never tried. Everyone is going to bring their favorites to the table.
Pick a snack, submit it to the tribunal, and say, this is what I present. Please rate it.
I feel like we need ideas, though.
Absolutely.
We need some ideas.
Well,
That'd be nice to have
that
in the
being
comments.
said, some comments on some good ideas
Comments would
is
be good.
always appreciated.
Yeah,
we
please.
love seeing some I'll tell you now, we didn't have comments for the longest time. Can I tell you how much I enjoyed
Yes.
seeing the comments
This
on the
last
last
Oh
couple
yeah,
episodes?
no, dude, there were a ton.
Oh
Yes.
my God!
I love
Shout
it.
out everybody who commented.
Except for
Love it. Thank
Robert,
you. Yeah,
you know, he kind of called you out a little bit.
Yeah, he did. Do you remember you were a Chiefs fan?
It was.
There was a
There was a time. Before Mahomes.
I was hoping that would come up.
Before Mahomes.
There was a time many moons ago when before I lived in Maryland for 12 years that I was a Chiefs fan when I lived here. So I found myself like for a split second in a moral conundrum. Like I'm like, well, it is the Chiefs, and I'm like, no, you are
Don't do
allegiant to.
it.
I'm part of the flock. I will be.
You quit rooting for him.
Part of the flock, huh?
Wrong time.
Love you, Robert. Fuck you, Robert.
Love you, man.
We love you, buddy.
Yeah,
we love you.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, that being said, we're going to close this thing out. Again, thank you all so much for being a part of this. Thank you guys, everyone who's tuned in, everyone who's watched all the episodes up to now, everyone who's watching right now.
Yes.
This is for you guys and girls. We love you. This is why we do this.
Love you guys. Keep
Rate,
it rolling.
review,
Keep it
subscribe,
rolling,
do
baby.
all that good
Yes.
shit.
All the buttons. We
Keep
go through it every
subscribing.
time. All those buttons, just one click away. Subscribe, like, share, throw a few names
And if you
out.
want a shout out, put it in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you want a shout out,
Yes.
like, hey,
Like
it's
any-
my mom's
any
birthday.
comments.
Like, hey, I'm having a birthday. Put it. We'll give you a shout out. Shit.
Hey, I love SportsBites. Oh, we love seeing comments. At
Hey,
such and
Papa.
such. Thank you. But yes, that being said, again, I know we started earlier because I totally forgot. I was full from eating the snack, so I totally forgot about the final review. But Donnie catching me, making sure we get that final review in. That being said, again, I know I said it before. Brent, Donnie, thank you guys for being here.
Always,
this was a lot
buddy.
of fun.
Happy to be here.
Always a good time out here on Sports Bites. Everybody watching, thank you again so much for being here. We love all you guys and gals out there. We hope you keep on subscribing, keep on watching, and keep on loving the channel.
Yes.
And with that being said, we are Sports Bites, your self-proclaimed #1 sports podcast, bringing you the best of both worlds.
Sports and snacks, baby. Sorry, I had to say both of them.
Thank you all. We love you guys. Good night.
Nice.
Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag.